and during the time Dad was in the war, I slept in a room that was right next to Mom and Dad's bedroom. She did not want me out of hollering distance, as she called it, for her. But all I had to do during the night was moan or groan, and she was right there. But by the time I was 9 or 10, I didn't want to sleep back there. I wanted my own room with privacy. So she let me move into the big, long room that was actually 2 rooms. It was 25 feet long and I think about 10 or 12 feet wide. And it had windows at one end and an outside door, a door into the parlor, a door into the living room, and a window toward the schoolyard. So it wasn't exactly private, but there was nobody sleeping in there with me. So I slept there for a couple of years, and the summer I was 12, I went and told Mother, I said, Mama, I want to wallpaper the walls in my room. And she said, you've never wallpapered before. Do you know how to wallpaper? And I said, well, I've been watching Aunt Mary and Uncle Doug ever since I can remember. And so I think I know how to do it. She said, well, I've got wallpaper. If you want to try, you have at it. So she helped me move the furniture out from the walls, and we set up a trellis that had 2 old boards and sawhorses at the end. And she got out her brush, her wallpaper brush, and big old scissors, and she said, I don't know how to wallpaper, so you just have fun. And I looked at the room and I said, Mother, the ceiling of this room needs wallpaper too. She said, yes, it does, but I understand that's very hard. I said, I'm going to try it. So the first thing I did was wallpaper the ceilings, and so I made myself, she had 2 step ladders and a pretty good sized board, so I built myself a little scaffold, and I cut my wallpaper, and I wasn't stupid enough to try to do the long way, so I did the short way. And she had this wide wallpaper brush that you brushed it on with, and then she had it looked like a huge paintbrush that you put paste on, because in those days you had to make your wallpaper paste. I'll tell you how to do that in a minute. So I managed to get it up there, and it didn't fall off, and she was very impressed. And she said, well, that's wonderful, honey. Now, are you going to paper the walls? And I said, yes. She said, well, there's a whole pile of wallpaper you can choose. Well, the one I chose had a white background and climbing coral roses with green leaves. And my children now would have gone, well, we knew that because coral is my favorite color. Anyway, it took me 2 or 3 days, but I papered all the walls in that great big room, taking time to do it as carefully as possible and learning to use a little razor blade, one of the single-edge razor blades that people used to have, to cut around the doors and the windows and the plug-ins and everything that were in there. And then Mother said, well, I've got a surprise for you, and she came out with a matching border to cover up my ugly mess, because I wasn't that great at the top of the room. But it matched, and to my memory, it hung there for more than 10 years.